those of you that are able, please remain standing for the invocation offered by Kimberly Waldron, Director of the Baptist Collegiate Ministries, the presentation of the flags, and the national anthem.
Good evening. Would you please pray with me? Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this beautiful day and this beautiful evening that you've given us. Father, what a great time of celebration. We just want to come and say thanks for a great season at NEO. And Father, I pray for the friends that have completed their education, Father, that they'll begin their careers. And Father, I pray you'll bless them. For those that will continue in their higher education, Father, I pray that you would bless them and go with them. But Father, right now I just want to congratulate and praise them for the efforts that everyone has put in to complete this degree. Father, for the families that have come from great distances, I thank you for them and pray that you'd give them great time of celebration tonight, and ask that you would just watch over them as they travel. Father, I just want to celebrate with the friends tonight and let them know what an accomplishment this is. Father, to have the privilege to continue their education, for the men and women that have poured into their lives these last couple years. I thank you for the educators, for the staff and faculty of NEO. Father, I thank you so much for Dr. Hale and his vision for this campus. I pray that your blessing would just continue to stay on this campus, Father, that we can continue to reach more and more students, Father. You are great and kind and wonderful to be praised, and we just thank you for this evening. In your Son's name I pray. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well, hello, NEO. Anybody excited to be here tonight? Yeah. We're going to have the song Oklahoma sung, and then we'll proceed with the start of our program here after the singing of Oklahoma. Well, welcome again to Red Robertson Field and the campus of NEO A&M College. I'd like to thank the students who presented the Indian Nation flags. Also help me thank our music director, Miss Mary Susan Whaley, and our featured singer, Miss Jessica Darnell. Board of Regents, honored guests, distinguished faculty, staff, students, on behalf of NEO A&M College, I take great pleasure in welcoming you to the 95th commencement ceremony on the campus of NEO A&M College. We're excited to have you here and hope you enjoy the ceremony as we celebrate tonight our accomplished students. My name is Jeff Hale. I have the honor of serving as the 15th president of NEO and presiding over tonight's commencement. At this time, I would like to introduce our platform guests to you. Since 1943, Oklahoma State University A&M Board of Regents have provided years of dedicated service to Northeastern Oklahoma A&M College. It is an honor tonight to welcome so many representatives from this distinguished board. Their support is critical to the success of NEO. I'd also like to introduce some of our faculty and administration who have joined us here tonight as well. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Chairman of the OSU A&M Board of Regents, Joe Hall. Regent Tucker Link from Findlay, Oklahoma. Regent Jim Reese, Nardin, Oklahoma. Larry Reese, who will be our commencement speaker, Stillwater. Dr. Bethine Fonstock, Vice President for Academic Affairs. Ms. Kimberly Waldron, Director of the BCM. Ms. Mackenzie Nygren, Interim Chair for the Ag Department. Ms. Pat Creech, Department Chair for Business and Technology. Mr. Steve McCurley, Chairman for Communication and Fine Arts. Ms. Amy Ishmael, VP for Student Affairs and Enrollment Management. Ms. Cheney Scott, our Student Body President. And Mr. Mark Razor, Vice President for Physical Affairs. Help me welcome our stage guest. Couple of off-platform guests, our State Representative, Mr. Ben Loring, and his wife, Barbara. Please stand and be acknowledged. Thank you, Ben. First Lady of the College, Miss Donna Hale. Donna, please stand and be recognized. And Miss Vicki Link. Vicki, thank you for joining us tonight. All right, candidates, the diploma you are about to receive is a much-deserved accomplishment that has been years in the making. This diploma not only brings you new opportunities, but also new responsibilities. Put together all the tests you've taken, the books you've read, the group projects you've mostly finished or totally finished, all the 8 a.m. classes that you were perfectly on time for, and the friendships that you've built. Add all of that up, and I think it's fair to say that you're a much different person today than when you first stepped foot on this campus. I want you to know that our country and state are looking for you as the next generation of scientists, social workers, nurses, business leaders, computer experts, and teachers. I challenge you to surpass our expectations. Wherever your path leads, I challenge you to be the absolute very best. Your hard work has paid off with a college degree, but you must continue to do more. I'm sure you all will agree that your degree has not been a solo effort. Family and friends have helped you along the way, and we want to thank your family that's here tonight. If you're a parent or a grandparent of one of our graduates, please stand so we can honor you. We have a lot to be proud of at NEO A&M College, especially the efforts of our faculty to create an environment where our students are enabled to achieve at the highest level. I want to take a moment just to recognize some of those outstanding members of our faculty who have joined us here tonight. I believe their dedication is unmatched, and I'm honored to work with such an amazing, talented, and dedicated group of people. This week, several of our faculty were recognized both by their peers and by the students on this campus. At this time, I would like to introduce a few of those award winners individually. The two most prestigious awards that we recognize in our teaching ranks is the Dobson Faculty Award for Teaching Excellence. Those two winners this year, Mr. Steve Dixon from our math department. Steve, please stand and remain standing. And Mr. Ron Lawson from our Business and Technology. Ron, please stand. Yep. Miss Amanda Burrows was recognized for her Faculty's Distinguished Service Award. Please stand. Hey, Ron, would you remain standing for us, please? Yeah. Amanda, please stand. Yeah, thank you. And Mr. Calvin Becker received the New Faculty Award. Calvin, where are you tonight? Yeah. Hey, Amanda, would you face the audience so these people can see you there? Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. Our student body recognized 3 additional faculty that I want to introduce to you tonight. Dr. Mark Grigsby. Mark, please stand and be recognized. Miss Brenda Lucas from Business and Technology. Brenda, please stand and be recognized. And Mr. Andrew Olson for their outstanding teaching and service. Now, if I could ask all of our faculty to stand and face the audience and the students, help me thank our faculty for an outstanding year on the campus of NEO A&M College. Thank you, faculty. So, you know, our college has a vision. That means we've kind of looked into the future to see if there's a place that we want to go. We've declared to really anybody that will listen and people throughout the world that we want to be a national leader in academics, in athletics, in campus life, in campus facilities. So we've told the world we want to be a national leader. So that sort of begs the question, how do you become a national leader? Well, in my mind, the first thing that has to happen is that you have to have excellent teaching. You have to have teachers that are credentialed, who go above and beyond in the classroom and outside the classroom. You have to have a level of staff dedication that is unsurpassed. Staff that are willing to go the extra distance to help our students be successful. I think you also have to have a culture where every day when our faculty and staff show up, the single-mindedness of our focus is on making sure that student experience is superior, second to none. You can't go anywhere in the country and get a better student experience than you can get at NEO A&M College. When you combine all of those, whether it's the Sinar Farm or the Osborne Lab Sciences Building or Red Robertson Field where we are tonight, then amazing things happen. They intersect with student dedication, student effort, student commitment, with all the things I just described. And when that happens, what you see is excellence. And rather than me sort of describing what that looks like, I want to show you what that looks like. Roll video.
For nearly 100 years, Northeastern Oklahoma A&M College has been providing a solid foundation for students academically, socially, and vocationally. The impact this college has made on the world we live in today is seen in the lives and legacies of those who have attended here and moved on to greater things. From nationally acclaimed honor societies to championship athletic teams, NEO has been passionate about developing and maintaining a tradition of excellence, one that has established NEO as a national leader in American higher education. And tonight, we celebrate the accomplishments of the next chapter of NEO graduates. This class of NEO students has achieved at the highest level in many different areas, earning scholarships, winning championships and competitions, and being recognized as the best in the country. Here are a few highlights from the year.
NEO's Mu chapter of Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society inducted 64 new members, and once again, our chapter was named a 5-star chapter. Mu Chapter Vice President of Leadership Daniel Hawker was named as one of the top 5 chapter officers nationally. In addition, Justice Tamplin and Daniel Hawker were named to the All-Oklahoma USA Coca-Cola Academic Team as 2 of the 35 students recognized by the Oklahoma Council of Two-Year Colleges and the Oklahoma Association of Community Colleges in partnership with Phi Theta Kappa.
During the fall, we recognized this year's top 10 freshmen, an honor given to our brightest students based on grade point average, campus involvement, and academic leadership. The honorees were Daniel Fontaine, Caleb Cox, Annika Carr, Miguel Soto, Tyson Howard, Johanna Richardson, Molly Brewer, Dylan Price, and Justice Tamplin. These students have proven their leadership abilities and exemplified the type of students NEO prides itself upon. Two of the outstanding freshmen, Caleb Cox and Justice Tamplin, were also crowned NEO royalty during this year's homecoming festivities. Both provide strong leadership on campus and in the community.
This year, many students receive final preparations to enter the workforce in nursing, allied health, process technology, computer science, and construction management. These students will continue to demonstrate that NEO produces the best training and education for these specialized careers in the region.
Student body government led by President Cheney Scott and her team of officers had a busy year serving the students of NEO A&M. SBG leaders participated in this year's Higher Education Day at the state capitol to meet with legislators to discuss issues facing today's college students, organized the inaugural Camp Row to help students adjust to college life, and hosted the annual leadership conference for high school students.
Taking great pride in the diversity of our student body, NEO's American Indian Center for Excellence has helped NEO rank in the top 5 nationally for the number of American Indian students graduating in nursing and the social sciences. Allison Reyes was crowned the 2015 Miss Indian NEO and has worked this year to promote the importance of education, culture, and leadership.
Fine arts programs have continued to produce breathtaking works of art and beautiful performances. Graduating art majors had their work on display in the Charles Banks Wilson Gallery, and students presented 3 major productions: Shakespeare in Scene and Song, James and the Giant Peach, and Legally Blonde. The community favorite Norwegian Legion Band at NEO performed in parades, halftime shows, and put on their epic Ragnarok concert in April.
The Agriculture Department at NEO continued its tradition of excellence. The equestrian team qualified 3 members to semifinals, with one Cole Inlow advancing to national competition in Lexington, Kentucky. The horse judging team was the Quarter Horse Congress and AQHA World Reserve champions in the fall, and the livestock judging team ended their season with a strong finish in the top 5 teams at 2 of 4 national contests entered. 4 rodeo team members are currently in the top 15 in the Central Plains region.
Renovations continue at Sinar Farm, where ground was recently broken for a state-of-the-art animal science research lab. Aggie excellence is alive and well at NEO A&M College.
Our athletic tradition continues with our teams enjoying widespread success this year. Volleyball, men's and women's basketball, and wrestling all went to their national tournaments, with wrestling winning their 2nd national championship in 3 years. Wrestling had 3 individual national champion wrestlers in Dwaylen Barnes, Blake Andrews, and Jacoby Smith. The Lady Norse basketball team received several honors, including Melinda Morello being named All-American. The Golden Norse men's basketball team had Gabriel Ferreira named as MVP of the region tournament, and Jalen Lowe was named to the All-Region team. Lady Norse volleyball player Juliana Tomasoni was named to the All-National Tournament team. Men's soccer had the winningest season in the program's history of 14-5-1, and Ryan McLaughlin received Region 2 Player of the Year honors. Softball had the returning NJCAA Player of the Year in Riley Bayless, and our football team had 18 players transferred to play at the NCAA Division I level. Several of the coaches received recognition this year as well, with Dustin Grover, Jim Rowland, John Peregrine, and Joe Renfro receiving Coaches of the Year honors.
NEO continues to produce students who excel in the classroom and on the field of competition. Because once a Norseman, always a Norseman.
This is an incredible group, and we are honored to present them to you today.
So that's how you become a national leader. You intersect great teaching with incredible student talent, and you produce results that you witnessed here this evening. I want to thank David Frazier for his great work on the video right there. David, wave your hand. Thank you, David. Job well done. At this time, my honor to be able to introduce the chairman of the Board of Regents to bring some remarks on behalf of our regents. Joe Hall from Elk City, Oklahoma, serves as the current chairman. He's the owner and CEO of Joe D. Hall General Contractors. He was first appointed by Governor Henry in 2003, reappointed by Governor Fallin in 2011. He received his Bachelor of Science degree in Civil Engineering from Oklahoma State University in 1983, graduating with honors. Please help me welcome Chairman Joe Hall.
Thank you, President Hale, Mr. Reese, candidates for degrees, and guests. I had remarks here that I've given to have given to all A&M institutions. As I've sat here tonight, I've reflected back on a night when President Jeff Hale and Donna were hired, and we walked across his campus, and it looked nothing like this. And to see your smiling faces here today, the green grass, the blue sky, the sun at your back in a new stadium on a transformed campus truly brings a smile to my face. And it wouldn't have happened without a good faculty and staff that have been supportive, the city of Miami and northeastern Oklahoma, the commitment of students and leaders, and the great leadership of President Hale and Donna. So, I compare a president's role to that of a choir director. If you've been in the junior high choir or the church choir and you try to coordinate that, not everybody can sing well. But you have people that show up that can't sing and you get them in the choir. You have people that don't come to camp to practice and you put them in the choir. And then you have the great singers, and you spread them out. And what a great choir director does is he harmonizes each part and makes tremendous music. And President Hale and Donna on this campus, with the support of his faculty and staff, administration, and youth students, has harmonized northeastern Oklahoma, has harmonized Miami, and has harmonized NEO into a great college experience. If you're a junior high student or a high school student sitting in that stands tonight and you watch that video of success on this campus and feel the energy here, you can't get this anywhere else. So I encourage you to think about it when you make your choice. We're here to honor the graduates. We commend you for not only starting your education, but for completing the task. Get the goal done. And we recognize that and hope you leave here with great memories of NEO, and we know you'll go and do great things. We recognize and thank the parents, family, the faculty, staff, and friends who believed and supported each of you, their commitment, their sacrifice, and we commend them for their success and accomplishment. On behalf of the Board of Regents, we thank you for being here. We appreciate you choosing NEO. We appreciate your commitment, and congratulations.
Thank you, Chairman Hall. Now it's my pleasure to introduce our student body government president, Ms. Cheney Scott. She's from Anderson, Missouri, graduating with a degree in agriculture education. As a student at NEO, Cheney has been a member of the equine judging team for 2 years, as well as a member of the equine club and the Ag Ed club. She's also been active as a coach for high school judging teams. Cheney's been a student worker in the financial aid office during her time at NEO. She's an incredible young woman with a bright future ahead of her. Ladies and gentlemen, our student body president, Ms. Cheney Scott.
Thank you, Dr. Hale. I would like to thank everyone for coming out this evening to celebrate this special occasion. I think I speak for my fellow graduates when I say that we truly appreciate your support. Now, one day while scrolling through Pinterest, I found this quote by Mark Twain that said, "The two most important days of your life are the day that you were born and the day you figure out why." This has been my favorite quote for quite some time now. Since I was little, I've always wanted to be a teacher. I would make my little sister Bailey sit down and do schoolwork and listen to my lessons that I had prepared her. At that time, it was just a game for me, but as I got older, it became something that I was passionate about. But I still didn't know what I wanted to teach. That is until I got into high school. In high school, I was involved in FFA, whether that be on judging teams, giving speeches, or being a member of an officer team. FFA was what I did. One evening after a contest, I was sitting on the bus waiting for my ag teachers to get on so that way we could head back to school. Everyone was celebrating their victories or planning how to improve. As I sat there, I thought to myself, man, I want to be able to do this forever. And then it hit me. I could. Why not combine my love of teaching and my passion for FFA into one? This is when I had my reason why moment. As I finished high school and began to continue my education at NEO, my reason why only became more clear. With every class I took and judging contest I attended, it only helped me to increase my passion for ag education. NEO is a great place to find your reason why, or to just even start discovering it. For those of you that have already found your reason, keep on pursuing it. Don't ever forget that passion that you have. Being good at something will only get you so far. Being passionate and loving what you do is what's important. For those of you that need a little help, keep an open mind, and your reason why moment will happen. NEO has helped shape me into the person that I am today, and I have the people of NEO to thank. Thank you to all my teachers throughout these past 2 years that have pushed me to become a better student. Thank you to my coach, Amanda Burrows, for pushing me to work harder and being the best judge that I could be. Thank you to Amy Ishmael for always lending your ear and being the most kind person that I have ever met. Thank you to Dr. Hale for having a true heart for the students and showing us what a leader should be. Thank you to all the administration, teachers, and staff for making NEO the legend that it is. I would also like to thank my parents, Tim and Jody, my grandparents, Pat and Jerry, my sister Bailey and Frank, for helping me pursue all of my goals, talking me through every drama-filled meltdown, and always being there for me no matter what. These past 2 years at NEO have been absolutely amazing, and I have all of you to thank for that. Good luck to my fellow graduates. Congratulations on accomplishing this milestone in your life. I wish you the best of luck.
Very good. That's awesome. Nice job, Cheney. It's now my pleasure to introduce Mr. Larry Reese, currently the Senior Associate Athletic Director for Development at Oklahoma State University. Larry's often recognized by his iconic voice at Boone Pickens Stadium. If you've been to a football game in the last couple decades or so, you know you might hear the phrase, "Here comes Bullet." Well, that's Larry Reese making that statement. Or if you've had the privilege to be in Gallagher-Iba Arena, I think a phrase that he coined that's often repeated these days is they call him Big Country. Of course, we love that. Larry has his roots here in Miami, Oklahoma. He's a 1987 War Dog graduate, attended NEO from 87 to 89, transferred to Oklahoma State University to study journalism and broadcasting. In 1990, he became the first student to call Oklahoma State University games. In 93, Larry was named the Outstanding Graduate of the School of Journalism and Broadcasting. In late 2014, Larry was diagnosed with throat cancer and had to undergo a rigorous chemotherapy treatment. During his treatment, Larry was surrounded by support from his OSU and Miami family. The Twitter hashtag #IRideWithTheVoice showed up on wristbands and T-shirts, not only here locally, but around the state and around the country. I'm pleased to report Larry is now cancer-free and has even called some NCAA tournament games this past year. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my very great honor to welcome home tonight's commencement speaker, Mr. Larry Reese. Yeah.
Thank you.
Let her ride.
Thank you. Here we go. Well, I can't believe this night is finally here. I have no problem speaking to 60,000 in Boone Pickens Stadium or 13,000 plus in historic Gallagher-Iba Arena, but you people scare me to death. And I don't know if it's the scary hats down low or what it might be, but I want to tell you that President Hale has just given us great leadership here at NEO. I was not really connected to NEO, even though I grew up here and I went to school here for 2 years. I had lost contact with one of my alma maters, but not with him at the helm. He has done a great job of connecting us all, getting us back involved. I didn't realize until him that I had a responsibility to carry on the legacy here of the Norsemen. And I really didn't realize there were ghosts walking the halls. That's a little scary, but it says it right there on the front, so be careful out there. But I will tell you that I think this is a great leader we have on this campus, and I think we need to give him a round of applause for all of his leadership. And I'll be honest, I've never questioned your leadership until now with this commencement speech, because this is surreal to me to be back home, and I've seen a lot of friends already, and it's great to have such a terrific crowd here to celebrate this great evening. Now, I want to speak to you graduates. You know, this is your night. And you know, mom and dad are telling you what a great job you've done, and your grandparents may be here and they're telling you, way to go, we're so proud of you. And all of your friends are telling you, wow, this is great. And I'm here to tell you that you've screwed up, all right? You have thoroughly screwed up, because college is the best time of your life. And here you are wrapping up part of that, at least, all right? Not smart, all right? So if you would, you graduates, turn to the right and just say, what were you thinking, all right? I'll wait, all right? Now turn back to the left and say, hey, genius, did you notice you're in a cap and gown? All right, go ahead. College truly is the best time of your life. You will spend the rest of your life wanting to go back to college. You know, I work for OSU Athletics, and we sell 40,000 season football tickets every year. And you know why? Because those former students wish they were back in college. And seriously, for that 4 hours on a game day Saturday in Stillwater, those fans feel like they're back in college, and here you sit wrapping it up. Doesn't make any sense. Hopefully, a lot of you are going to move on. But let's get a little more serious here for a moment, all right? Time to get a little more serious. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called graduation, and especially this commencement speech. But, you know, that's my obligatory shout out to Prince. You know, I grew up on Prince, so it was a big deal when I was on this campus. Purple Rain, right? So. Truly, today I am honored to be back home. This is my hometown. I grew up 2 blocks from here. And truthfully, if I'm honest with you, I was never really thinking about college. So I'm so fortunate, as I think about it, that NEO was right here in my backyard. You know, I grew up, well, you know, and NEO gave me a partial scholarship is probably why I ended up coming here. And it turned my life around, and I'll tell you more about that. I grew up with very supportive parents. You know, we didn't have, and they're here tonight, but we didn't have that much money growing up, but my parents were there for every one of my brother Lance and I's events, everything. They drove us across this state to baseball games. My dad coached our games. My mom would take me and my friends to any event she needed to. They never missed anything we had in school. I truly had great parents. The one complaint that I just wanted to air out publicly is when Nikes came out. My dad wouldn't get me a pair of Nikes. He bought me Pro Wings. Everybody else, we actually called them Nikes back then because we didn't even know how to say it. But all the other kids had Nikes, and I had Pro Wings. So, Dad, I've never forgiven you for that, and I'm not sure I'm going to, but I just wanted to kind of let everybody know what I did go through growing up. You know, every community has difference makers, and Miami had a lot of difference makers for me. There were many, but there's one that I want to mention tonight. And that's Willie Osborne. Willie Osborne had Osborne Drugs here in Miami forever. And my mom worked there for 33 years or something. And Willie was my first boss. He gave me a chance when I was in high school to work, and he taught me how to work hard. He taught me how to clean toilets on the first day. So I really appreciated that part of Willie. We lost Willie not that long ago. And he was a difference maker for me, not only teaching me how to work hard, but every time I saw him growing up, he would say, how are your grades? How are you doing? How are you doing in this course? How are you doing in this? And then he got to where he would say, where are you going to college? And he really got me thinking. A young guy just running around Miami, Oklahoma, having fun and playing every sport that I could. He got me thinking that I needed to go to school. And again, I appreciate Willie Osborne for that. Still miss him, always will. And I'm so glad that NEO was here in my backyard. My time at NEO taught me a lot, including time management, and I'm sure it's done that for you. I loaded UPS trucks every morning at 3:30 a.m. And then I would come and go to class, and then at night I knew I wanted to get into broadcasting somehow, so I would go work at a radio station in Bonita, Oklahoma, KVIN, or I'd call games here in Miami. So it was a busy schedule, and NEO taught me a lot. It taught me also that I could do college. College was for Larry Reese, and it gave me a lot of confidence, and I have a lot of great memories of my time here on the NEO campus. One of my messages to you tonight is that graduates, I want you to dream big. And I'm just going to give you my example of dreaming big. Growing up, I always wanted to be around athletics. I played just about every sport you could. I played on this field right here for the Miami War Dogs. And what I lacked in athletic ability, I made up for by being extremely slow and methodical. So it was a special career. So I knew I wanted to be around it. I remember in high school playing, though, and after one game, my best friend, Ronnie Coker, was our star running back. And his dad came up to me after a game, and he goes, "You know, Larry, if you could block it all, my son would be leading the state in rushing." And he's probably right. Right over there where that War Dog is, I missed several blocks right there. Ronnie would have probably scored. So God didn't give me the talent to keep playing, but I knew I had to be around it somehow. But how would I do that? And at some point back in my Little League career, my dad was volunteering. Like I said, he wasn't coaching us that year, so he was on the public address. And I just remember being in Little League, being 11 or 12, and thinking, how cool is that? My dad's doing the public address and talking to these people. And it just hit me as something really cool. My dad, I remember the one home run I hit in my life over the fence. I'm rounding second, and I can hear my dad say, "That's my boy." And I'll never forget that, Dad, and it planted the seed that might be something that I might want to do for a living. So I was lucky to grow up in this small town because when I graduated high school, a buddy of mine, Mike Elmore, and I just walked into the local radio station, KGLC KSSM, and we said, you know what? We think you ought to be doing high school basketball games, and we think you ought to let us do it. And we're so fortunate that the general manager said, you know what? If you can sell it, and if you can sell enough of the advertising, then we'll do that. And he slid over some equipment, this old 1940s equipment that had duct tape all over it. And he said, this knob does this, and this knob does that. But growing up in a small town, what a great opportunity. And I remember Willie Osborne was one of the very first that bought into what we were selling. And he bought advertising, and just about everybody down Main Street and our curvy Main Street in Miami bought advertising. And we got to do the play-by-play for a couple of seasons. And it was more a variety show than play-by-play, but that was priceless experience for us. And it's because I grew up in a small town like Miami, Oklahoma. At NEO and at OSU, I went into broadcast journalism, like President Hale said. I became the first student to do the public address at OSU, and how that happened, it all ties back to small town. I was on the OSU campus for a very short time, and somebody from the athletic department called over, a gentleman named Steve Buzzard, to one of my instructors. I hadn't been there very long. I didn't even think my instructors knew my name. Well, Dr. Ed Pollan just happened to take note of me. And so when they called over and just needed somebody to call cowgirl basketball games, he said, I think this guy might be able to do it. So I go over and I meet with Steve Buzzard. And guess what? Steve Buzzard, who I just met, is from Quapaw, Oklahoma. And so he didn't even try Larry Reese out. He just said, you want the job? We hit it off, and he gave me the job. And I became the first student to do it. The next year, Steve stuck his neck out on the line for me, because there were two faculty members that had been doing cowboy basketball and cowboy football for 20-plus years. And Steve wanted this little old student to do it. And now I've been calling games for 27 years and have just had a blast and seen some amazing moments on the OSU campus. And again, I grew up here in Miami, Oklahoma. And because of that connection with those small towns, and because I went to NEO and figured out what I wanted to do and started my journalism and broadcasting here, and then went to OSU and caught somebody's eye, I just happened to meet the right person in Steve Buzzard. I got to become the first student to do it. Now the legendary Eddie Sutton is a great friend to me. I have this Final Four ring that I'm wearing right here because of Eddie Sutton. He gave it to me. And I didn't play on that team, as you can imagine. I told you how slow I was, and I couldn't jump either. But Coach Sutton once told me that I was worth 10 points a game on the mic. So I'm not one to brag, but I'm averaging double figures, all right? And now the greatest running back to ever play the game has my phone number. So when Barry Sanders wants to come home to Stillwater, Oklahoma, he calls me. And I've gotten to be around some of our great athletes like Ricky Fowler, Des Bryant, who's with the Dallas Cowboys. Of course, Robin Ventura is managing the White Sox. John Smith, one of our coaches, perhaps the greatest amateur wrestler of all time. Desmond Mason, a slam dunk champion in the NBA. Tony Allen, perhaps the greatest defensive player in the NBA right now. And Big Country, of course. I got to give a shout out to Big Country. So many more that I've met and gotten to know, so many great coaches. So I've gotten to be around sports and athletes and great coaches. So I saw this quote the other day. If you find a job you love, you will never work a day in your life. And I'm a testament to that. So find a job you love. Dreams do come true. So graduates, please dream big. The next message I want to give you is the importance of a posse. All right? Remember what is important is family and community. You know, I had a friend of mine tell me one time that if he had to get in a foxhole, if things got tough, he'd want me in the foxhole with him. I thought, what a great compliment. So it made me think, who would I want in my foxhole? And you know what? Truthfully, a lot of my bunker or foxhole guys come from right here in Miami, Oklahoma. One of them would be Stacy Satterwhite, who gave me that compliment. Stacy Satterwhite's name's right over there, but Stacy's a great friend, is why he'd be in the foxhole with me, and he's a guy you can trust. But he was also an all Big 8 defensive tackle, so he's going to come in handy, right? Matt Osborne, who's here tonight, and all of the Osborne boys would be in the bunker with me. Keith Anderson, who's from Miami, Oklahoma, would be in that bunker. Ronnie Walker would be in that bunker, although he and I have been friends since grade school, but I tell him all the time I was only friends with him to get to his sister, and it finally worked out. My brother Lance would be in the foxhole with me. He's been a rock for me throughout my life. Ronnie Coker, even though I missed all those blocks, he's in the bunker with me. There's no doubt about it. So it's going to have to be a pretty good size foxhole because these are pretty big guys, right? Well, I'm also going to throw Gunny Sergeant Todd Snackenberg in there, one of my longest standing friends. I'm throwing him in there because he actually served 2 stints in the Gulf War. If we're going to be in the foxhole, we need somebody to tell us what in the hell we're doing in the foxhole, all right? So I'm going to put him in there as well. So it's amazing how growing up in a small town, some of your best friends come from those experiences in that time growing up. And I didn't know how bad I would need my foxhole guys and my hometown until about a year and a half ago, and Dr. Hale mentioned it. I was diagnosed with cancer. It was the scariest time of my life, and it's not even close. I spent Christmas 2015 knowing I had cancer, but not knowing where. Here's where I want to give you a piece of advice. And you know, there's a good chance that a number of us here tonight are going to have cancer or have had cancer. When they tell you you have cancer, don't Google it, all right? Never Google it, all right? I woke up at 3 a.m., I Googled it. I don't want that. God, I hope I don't have that. There's a lot of bad pictures out there, so don't look it up on the internet, I can tell you that. It ended up being throat cancer. My worst fear, for a guy who uses his voice to make a living, it was my worst fear. But I can tell you how quickly you put life in perspective when you're told you have cancer, because even though I always wanted to be around sports and I loved calling games for OSU, I was already telling God I'll give it all up. Because all I want to do is I want to see my daughter graduate, which she graduates here in a couple of weeks from Stillwater High School. I want to walk her down the aisle. I want to be there as my parents grow older. I want to grow older with my beautiful wife, Jimmy. So you put everything in perspective when that hits you. But wow, did my family and my community come through for me, and so did my hometowns. They rallied around me. Dr. Hale mentioned I Ride with the Voice. That hashtag was thrown out there by an OSU mailman who I didn't even know. But it meant the world to me because that came to be how people would communicate with me as I was in Houston going through treatment. Every day I would get multiple Twitter tweets, I should say, and Facebook posts and pictures. And then it became shirts that we sold for Coaches versus Cancer to help with cancer research. And I was honored that we were able to raise some money for that. And it just was a great way for people to support me. My brother created a Facebook page called Third Down for the Visitors, and people would reach me through that every day, and it really got me through it. My supporters grew immensely to where I finally tabbed them my prayer posse, and my prayer posse was churches filled with people I didn't even know would tell me they were praying for me. My former MHS, NEO, and OSU classmates, my friends, my family, complete strangers rode in my prayer posse. And then I made a phone call to Boone Pickens when I found out that I had throat cancer. And I called Boone and I said, Boone, I've got one shot at this. I've got to go to the best place, and that's MD Anderson. And he said, Larry, I'd have been mad if you hadn't have called. He said, you know, I gave them $40 million. I said, I'm fully aware of that. Yes. That's why I'm calling, Boone. And he goes, I'll give them a call, and before the end of the day, you'll be on the phone with MD Anderson. And when you're scared and you're not sure what your treatment's going to be or what your prognosis is, what your chances are, it feels good to have help like that. So within an hour, I was on the phone with MD Anderson, and they were getting me set up to come to Houston. MD Anderson is a special place. If you're ever diagnosed with cancer, don't mess around. Get to a center of excellence like MD Anderson. It's a special place because they have an attitude. There's a lot worse cancer than what I ended up having, even though throat cancer was the scariest to me. It was highly treatable. I saw a lot of people in worse shape than me, but their attitude was so upbeat. The attitude of MD Anderson is, we're going to get this for you. So it is a special place. And I give MD Anderson a lot of the credit. But when you're going through throat cancer, it's important to get your nutrition, all right, and eat anything. Protein shakes. I was so tired of protein shakes. My wife got to be really good on the Vitamix machine, but you get tired of shakes after a while. So, again, MD Anderson was a special place, but it's not even the only institution that helped me through my cancer treatment. I want to give a shout-out as the unofficial spokesman for House of Pies in Houston, Texas. If you're ever down that way, I believe they have 3 locations. I recommend the coconut cream pie at House of Pies. I am truly a blessed man, and I'm proud to tell you that I'm 1 year cancer-free as I stand here, so I'm very blessed. And you know, being a caregiver is one of the hardest jobs on earth, and caregivers don't get enough respect or enough thank you. And if you would, my wife Jimmy is here, and there were times she was really sweet and helped me. There were times she was really mean, but she got me through it. She knocked me over the head and tell me to eat that. And if you would, give my wife Jimmy a round of applause as she sits over there. Love you, babe. Thank you. And in closing, in this portion of what I wanted to tell you is, why is it that we all think we're bulletproof when we're younger? And some even, as we get a little bit older, we think we're bulletproof, especially we guys. Well, I can tell you that I ignored a lump in my throat for 4 to 5 months. I just kept looking in the mirror going, what's that? And thinking, it'll be all right. Or I didn't really want to know. Let me tell you, you want to know. So if you ever think there's something wrong, don't be an idiot like I was, because that cancer could have spread somewhere else and I wouldn't be standing here right now. I'm very fortunate that that didn't happen to me, but get it checked out. I know it's a hassle to call your doctor, and I mean, you've got to get there and get it checked out, because the earlier you get there, the better chance you have. Dream your dreams with your eyes closed, but live your dreams with your eyes wide open, is a quote that I saw the other day. Cancer will not only open your eyes, but it will focus you on what is important. As I start to wrap up here, I want to tell you to be proud of where you are from. How many of you are from small towns? How many of you are? Raise your hand. Are you from a small town? Most of you. But even those of you who are from a big city, you had a smaller community in that big city that was important to you. You know, people from school, from church, from your neighborhood. So you get a sense of the small town, even if you're in the big city. I started to write down what it means to grow up in a small community like this, and I discovered that the words had already been written. So bear with me as I quote. Well, I was born in a small town, and I live in a small town. Probably die in a small town. Oh, those small communities. All my friends are so small town. My parents live in the same small town. Educated in a small town. Taught to fear Jesus in a small town. Used to daydream in that small town. Another boring romantic, that's me. But I've seen it all in a small town, had myself a ball in a small town, married a doll from this small town. I edited that part. And she's small town just like me. No, I cannot forget, where is it? I come from. I cannot forget the people who love me. Yeah, I can be myself here in this small town, and people let me be just what I want to be. Well, I was born in a small town, and I can breathe in a small town. Gonna die in a small town, and that's probably where they'll bury me. You can probably tell who that was. I probably don't have to give credit. Be proud of where you're from. It is a big part of who you are. And be proud to be a Golden Norseman just like I am. Remember this. I saw this quote the other day, and I thought it was good. And I think it's small town is why I liked it. Remember this. That's from John Wooden, the legendary basketball coach. Remember this. You're as good as anybody, but never forget you're no better than anybody either. Don't look down on anybody. Again, John Wooden. In closing, I encourage all of you to continue your education and prolong your college experience. It is absolutely the best time of your life, and if you end it now, you'll keep wanting to go back. You don't think I practice what I preach? I have never gone through a college graduation. When I graduated from OSU, I was working a couple of jobs and putting off college algebra, I'll be honest. And it took me so long that I was like, I'm not going to walk. I started on this campus 29 years ago, and I still haven't graduated, and some say I still haven't grown up. I'm proud of that last part. But with the help of President Hale, I'm ready to join you tonight if you'll have me. Keep in mind, my parents are here, and they've never seen me walk across and get my college degree. So, see if I can figure this out. Get one of these scary hats. They said it says front and back, but hey, front. All right, let's see. Yeah, I've got a bucket head, so this may not work out. All right, so anyway, how's it look? Yeah. All right. NEO, class of 2016, fellow Norsemen, let's do this. Let's graduate, but let's never grow up. Go Norse.
Small town boy, big time hero right here. Larry Reese. Yeah. At this time, our academic department chairs will present awards to the outstanding students from each school. Presenting for the School of Agriculture, Natural Sciences is Miss Mackenzie Nygren. Mackenzie.
It is my pleasure to present awards to the outstanding graduates from the School of Agriculture and Natural Sciences. As I call your name, please come forward. The outstanding graduates from the School of Agriculture and Natural Sciences are Amber Cox from Glencoe, Oklahoma, majoring in animal science. Madison K. Moss from Commerce, Oklahoma, majoring in pre-engineering. And Chelsea R. Wilkins from Grove, Oklahoma, majoring in pre-engineering as well.
Thank you. Presenting for the School of Human Environmental Sciences is Miss Pat Creech. Pat.
It is my pleasure to present awards to the outstanding graduates from the School of Human Environmental Science. As I call your name, please come forward. The outstanding graduates from the School of Human Environmental Science are Luke Gibson Pruss from Tulsa, Oklahoma, majoring in business administration, and Amy Rutherford from Miami, Oklahoma, majoring in business administration.
Presenting for the School of Liberal Arts is Mr. Steve McCurley. Steve.
It is my pleasure to present the awards for the outstanding graduate from the School of Liberal Arts. The outstanding graduate from the School of Liberal Arts is Ashlyn Taylor Bashor from Miami, Oklahoma, majoring in English. And she is unable to join us this evening.
This time, it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Bethine Fonstock, Vice President for Academic Affairs. Bethine.
Will the graduates of the School of Agriculture and Natural Sciences please rise? Will Miss Mackenzie Nygren please come forward to present the graduates for conferring of their degrees?
President Hale, Dr. Fonstock, honored guests, Board of Regents, distinguished faculty, staff, and parents. On behalf of the faculty of the School of Agriculture and Natural Sciences of Northeastern Oklahoma A&M College, I take great pleasure in presenting the graduating class of May 2016. The students have completed all requirements for the appropriate degree, and as interim chair of the Agriculture Department, I recommend them to you.
Upon completion of the academic requirements for this degree and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents for the Oklahoma A&M Colleges and the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education, it is my privilege to certify and bestow upon you this associate degree and to extend to you all the rights and privileges associated with this achievement. Will the School of Agriculture and Natural Sciences graduates now move the tassels from the right to the left? Carefully, which is symbolic of the successful completion of your course of study and prepare to receive your diploma.
Austin Fulage. What's your name, sweetie? Oh, there it is. Abby Cooper. Patrick Houchins. Clay Gulick. Wyatt Hines. Kyle Burbridge, Larry Cisneros, congratulations, buddy. Shannon Hayworth, congratulations. Mahela, Emily Martin, Dakota Souders, Michaela Catherine Cole, Caitlin E. Blanks, Levi Davis, Drew Dixon, Mary Alice Cook, Mary Kate Lane, Jacob D. Hill, Kelvin Austin Grubbs, Jamie Joseph Sigmund, DeWaylan Barnes, Justin Stamps, Andrew Timms, Levi Bingham, Scott Hale, Michaela Cook, Shannon Lee Hughes, Taylor P. V. House, Christopher Mears, Caitlin McNeil, Jesus Covarrubias. Okay. Okay. Hear me? Okay. Okay. Madison K. Moss. Okay. Michael Sexton. Jolene Smith. Carolee Johnson. Chelsea Wilkins. Julie Brashear. Zara Michelle Levan, my apologies. Song Cha. Tu Pong Lee, my apologies. Brandon Thomas. Amber Cox. Emily Lynn Voris. April L. Crockett. Haley Lewis. Christy McCullough. Jennifer Eiskrig. Charity Coberly. Allison Deanne Hanna. Harley Sasser. Abigail Mariah Pate. Johanna E. Richardson. Corey McDaniel. Marty L. Shanks. Annika M. Carr. Daniel Gibbon Simmons. Cheyenne H. Bennett. Hannah Metzger. Reese Wayne Fitzhugh. Cheney Shea Scott. Nick Abernathy. Wyatt Bradley Spear. Caleb Peck. Bailey Dawn Burnett. Brooklyn Baber. Thanks. Jordan Marie Adams. Dakota Mack Williams. Michaela K. Fringer. Caitlin Hyman. Ashton Lee Betcher. David Kale Kaiswetter. Kyle W. Christian.
All right. Let's see. Dr. Fonstock, I believe you're up.
You may be seated. Will the graduates of the School of Human Environmental Sciences please rise? Will Mrs. Pat Creech please come forward to present the graduates for conferring of their degrees?
President Hale, Dr. Fonstock, honored guest, Board of Regents, distinguished faculty and staff and parents, on behalf of the faculty of the School of Human Environmental Science of Northeastern Oklahoma A&M College, I take great pleasure in presenting the graduating class of May 2016. The students have completed all requirements for the appropriate degree, and as chair of the Business and Technology Department, I recommend them to you.
Upon completion of the academic requirements for this degree and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents for the Oklahoma A&M Colleges and the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education, students, it is my privilege to certify and bestow upon you this associate degree and to extend to you all the rights and privileges associated with this achievement. Will the School of Human Environmental Science graduates now move the tassels from the right to the left? Yes, let's hear it. Yeah, it's okay to be a little bit rowdy or enthused, excited about this. This is symbolic of the successful completion of your course of study. Please prepare to receive your diploma.
Nicole Morris. Matthew Stanley. Ashlyn Breckheisen. Jerica Conrad. Jessica Renee Painter. Jonathan Goodwin. Caleb Matthew Epperly. Luke Gibson Pruce. Clay Patterson. Colby Ellis. Bailey Wolf. Madison Roan. Riley May Bayless. Kylie K. Buttram. Whitney Nicole Wright. Misty D. Howard. Julie Ann Hayworth. Nina Burrow. Brianna Bryant. I can handle yours. Amy Rutherford. Amanda Pitzer.
Awesome job. Congratulations.
Jade Heck. Allison K. Smith. Devon W. Bradley. Marcus L. Scott. Warren Matthew Eugene Floyd Walker. Jalen Calhoun. Jansen Smith. Kendall Renee Garner. Stephanie Heiss. Androsco. Allison Androsco. Elizabeth Ann Flanders. Lucille A. Kingsley. Denise Michelle McCarthy. Michael B. Creech. Casey Dawn Huff. Lindsay Michelle Haas. Richard Thomas Palma. Cheyenne Renee Moreland. Samantha Ashley Skinner. Molly Vang. Tracy Lee Stubblefield. Karen J. Boston.
Samantha Nicole Ferguson. Whitney Paige Jones. Jonah Summerfield. Sadie Morris. Lindsay Record. Candace Woodruff. Victoria Airy. Macy Sarah Brophy. Cordell Petty Jackson. John Paul Mahia. Hannah Lane Chenoweth. Sarah Short. Camry Chamberlain. Melinda Murillo. Shaylee McAllister. Stephen Wade Laughlin. Dion Roll. Karen Knowles. Gabriel Oshifaso. Jaron Ritchie. Wesley Childers. Christian Hewlett. Jamie Nicole Lewis. Shanna Renee Mann. Do you want all of this? Your whole name? Okay. Kirsten Ashton Renee Fisher. Kimberly Love McCaffrey. Joshua Tyler Warren. Josie M. Miser. Dylan Price. Hua Her. Casey Jean Kruger. Dakota L. Summerfield.
Daniel Hoker. I almost put lurch in there. It was a temptation.
Let's hear it for the graduates of the School of Human Environmental Sciences.
Yes!
You may be seated. Will the graduates of the School of Liberal Arts please rise? Will Mr. Steve McCurley please come forward to present the graduates for the conferring of their degrees?
President Hale, Dr. Fonstock, honored guest, Board of Regents, distinguished faculty, staff, and parents. On behalf of the faculty of the School of Liberal Arts of Northeastern Oklahoma A&M College, I take great pleasure in presenting the graduating class of May 2016. The students have all completed the requirements for the appropriate degree, and as chairman of Communication and Fine Arts Department, I recommend them to you.
Upon completion of the academic requirements for this degree and by the authority vested in me by Oklahoma State A&M Board of Regents and the Oklahoma A&M Colleges and the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education, students, it is my privilege to certify and bestow upon you this associate degree and to extend to you all the rights and privileges associated with this achievement. Will the School of Liberal Arts graduates now move your tassels from the right to the left? Nice. Let's do it. This is symbolic of the successful completion of your course of study. Please prepare to receive your diploma.
They're going to go a long way. Ashley Nicole Spurgeon. Kimberly Jeffries. Sophie Lisbeth Allen. Brittany Nicole Garner. Tori Siegel. Congratulations. Okay. Echeverry. Okay. You want to? Thank you.
Andrew Justin Echeverry.
Caitlin Paige Blevins. Ryder McLean Bruce. Chelsea A. Ferris.
Congratulations, Chelsea.
Leslie Vardell. Jacqueline Vardell. Timothy Richard Hopper. Slow down just a minute. Matthew Blair Holland. Ashley Hayes. Jade Decker. Fallon Graham. Kriston Kriston Duran Seymour.
Diwali.
I need your card, but I know.
Howard Bethel III.
Miss you too, sir.
Go HB. Brian Ray Randall.
Who are you?
Ronnie Kennedy.
Hanging on to you.
Christina Roday.
Serena.
Tori Serena Key.
Oh, I see you now. Oh, I see you. Yeah. Okay. Come to the office.
Jessica Vota Darnell. Emily Elizabeth Bond.
Likewise.
Hannah Grace Baker. Clarissa Joy Magley. Allison D. Barnes.
Oh, it's so good to see you.
You go up there and you be proud.
Okay.
Gwen Maureen Meffert.
Rita S. Whitney. Michelle Sears. Taylor Nicole Pryor. Natalie J. Highsmith. Lexi Jo Baker.
Oh, my. Taekwondo.
Tyquay Russell.
Congratulations, sweetheart.
Ross Stovall.
Congratulations.
Holden Harold Baker. Olivia Fernandez. Courtney Lincecum. Kylie Jones. Corinne Hagens. Madison Van Berklio. Lindsay Brock. Rachel Marie Murphy.
This one's yours.
No, it's not. I did the last one.
One more time. Nicola?
Nicola Nedoro Chikova.
Fontina?
Daniel Fontaine.
Oh, thank you for a nice, simple name.
Molly Grace Brewer. Riley Noel Karhoff.
Ah, there you go. Marcelina? Okay.
Marcelina Rivera. Chantel Harding. Karen Cook.
Showen.
Sandra Showen.
We're going to wait just a minute.
Mine was silent.
Amber Morris.
Hey, kiddo.
Can you say it right? Can you say it right?
Don't get me started.
Rebecca Ray Harris.
Congratulations. I think I can handle that.
Sarah Cheyenne Sally King.
I want this side.
Lisa Diane Everly.
I can handle that.
Lisa Diane Eberly. Chancey Marie Cooper.
Oops. Kitty, just like it looks.
Taylor Ann Kitty. Tina L. Greenfeather.
Prado?
Crystal Ann Prado. Sabrina R. Holden.
You want to do that? Sure, sure.
Should we wait a while? Just make us sit here for a while. Okay. Harley Nicole McAllister. Congratulations, sweetie. Go ahead.
Ashley Dawn Maynard.
Congratulations, Ashley.
And he started in 1987, and he's graduating in 2016. Mr. Larry Reese.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right.
That's awesome. That's it? Yep. Let's hear it for the graduates from the School of the Liberal Arts. Yeah. Could we have all of the 2016 NEO grads stand, face the audience, and let everybody tell you how much we appreciate what you've done. Like to once again thank the Regents for their attendance and participation here tonight. Larry, welcome home. It was an honor to have you in Red Robertson Field tonight, and we appreciate your comments. To the parents and family members, students, faculty, and staff, there's a reception in the Calcano Family Ballroom, which is located in the Student Union just to the west of this building. Would encourage all of you to come over and recept with us. Please stand for the recessional. We'll move out first with the stage and then the faculty and students. Please stay standing until we've emptied the field.
Gotcha.
Cue the music.